What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition Poetry Try Football Podcast, Quad Box Edition. The AY come to you from the State Capital, Blue State, the Commonwealth. All over the map here. Let's go out west. Stanford, what's up?
I wish I could say we designed this on purpose to where Roth and I would be side by side at the top of the box, but it just so happens that's how everybody logged on. Other than that, I'm good. Ready for the game. Perfect. Looks like pristine weather we'll have.
I mean, AY's got pristine hair. Look at that.
Fresh cut.
I told you yesterday. Had to do it. Ken, looking sharp as always. It's my
yeah. I think it's sharper than usual, actually. Weather is great right now. It's a little chilly the first couple of days of the week, but summer hanging on with his last grasps. Or gasps. Grasps.
Indeed. And guest tonight for a few minutes, Roth, south of Mason-Dixon. Really feeling himself. Orioles, Vols.
No.
He's having a great fall.
We took the Orioles out last night. That was the last gasp. They're done. No more Orioles.
It is an uphill battle. It is an uphill battle from here on in.
Rough day.
Very much, yeah. Other than that, we're feeling good. Pirates are not still in it. Don't fool yourself.
No. Yeah, so baseball season winding down as football ramps up. It is football night in America, as Ken was saying in the production meeting. So we have Roth for a few minutes. Before we get to that, two notes. It'll take not even a minute. Sam Hartman is back. That is good for Wake Forest. And I want to note Simon Fraser. You know what Simon Fraser is? It is the only Canadian university to play NCAA football. They play their home games in Blaine, Washington, which you look it up, is right across the border from BC. And they decided on a new name. They are the Red Leafs. Not the Leaves, but the Red Leafs, like the Maple Leafs.
Like the Maple Leafs, yeah.
And they've won.
Is that Division 3?
I think it was 2 I saw.
Oh, wow.
We'll have to look it up again. But they've
wasting
won
no time
against a Canadian team end of the year. Like their Army Navy game. They take a month off end of the year and gear up for that. So good for Simon Fraser.
Good for SF. Are they college or university? What are they?
I think it said university. I think it was
SFU.
Stephen F. U.
Yeah.
So the main event, the game of the year for the second year running now. I sound like Hamilton here. I'm just blessed and grateful for games of the year every year. We move on from Pitt, Penn State to Pitt, Tennessee. What next year holds, we'll find out. But for this year, the game of the year, Tennessee travels to Pitt, the Johnny Major Classic, Part 2. And Tennessee, the line came down a smidge. It's a dead number right now. We're going to pick it at 5.5. They're giving the home dogs in their own stadium, Heinz Field. Not even Heinz, I'm sorry.
Acrisure.
Acrisure. Roth making the John out. Both of you guys up top. Go ahead. Roth, how are we feeling about this game?
We were feeling great until the lines came out. I don't like that number at all. But it couldn't have looked better last week. I know Ball State's one of the 10 worst teams in all of major college football, but couldn't have looked better last week. Pitt struggled, but probably productively so. They beat us by 7 last year before we really figured out who we were. I kind of want to say freight train's coming and Tennessee wins by 24. Yeah,
you sure did you body swap with Can? This is a Can special. Can,
no, I don't know.
No, Can came out of the gates AY's first game of the year in 2016. He's like, Penn State's winning by 17.
17, absolutely.
So, yeah. So this is okay.
Dan, how are we feeling after the backyard brawl?
I thought, the one thing that's been bandied about, at least in the Pitt circles.
You have your shirt back, we see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did go Brandy Chastain on the MJ Devonshire pick 6, which I'm going to try. Somebody does have footage.
Sure, nobody knows. Farrell.
Exactly. I did find out there is footage of it, and we will effort that. Obviously not for this podcast, but soon of my antics. Overcome with emotion when that happened. I thought Pitt played okay. I thought West Virginia played okay. Both teams had, week 1 games for sure. And then big plays on both sides. The weird, bizarre JT Daniels deflected crazy catch by Bryce Ford Whedon, which is really one of 2 plays that West Virginia made in the whole first half. So that was encouraging. And it just got crazy. It just got drunk on week 1 in the second half. Blocked punts.
Week 1 was great.
Poor tackling from West Virginia that followed up by poor tackling from Pitt. I mean, it was a week 1 game. We're moving on 1-0. I couldn't believe. I'm glad it did come back down into the Vegas zone, as some would say, to 5.5 for the line. But yeah, the 3-point jump seemed a bit much, just because Tennessee is. I'm not sure what type of a quantity to make of them. They obviously had a strong second half of the year last year. Brought a lot of people back. Brought in some key additions. I'm interested to see this freshman running back. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And see how he does. And we saw it last week with C.J. Donaldson in a James Conner-like role, going from the under-recruited 3-star tight end to running back, running rampant. So that would be definitely a storyline to see how Pitt's run defense holds up. I wish it was still around 7 points, because I'd feel a little bit better about backing Pitt, but I'm with Roth here. Not the 24 points, but I think is a crisp, maybe even a 6-7-point win. I picked Pitt to split these first 2 games in the offseason. I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary as to why I should not keep with that prediction. I think it's going to be a great game, though. Perfect day, as I already mentioned once, in terms of the forecast. And we'll see if Pitt can bounce back, because they certainly need to play a higher level of football than they did against West Virginia.
It worries me that you didn't particularly play well and still stole it. It worries me that you had a little bit of battle test, whereas we had our starters out in the third quarter. I don't love that. Yeah. It worries me that your offensive line was pretty bad, and it should be a whole lot better. So everyone tells you that Tennessee is going to get pressure on Slovis all day, and I don't think that's going to happen. A lot in the negative column, but we're going to run a play every 12 seconds, and unless you all miss us, that's going to catch up at some point.
Exactly. But the thing I will say about the Tennessee pass rush, it's been bandied about in Pitt circles this week that I've heard, at least. They had, I think Ball State had 44 pass attempts, no sacks for Tennessee, which was interesting. Could just be, anomaly, and we'll see how their pass rush comes out, because Pitt's offensive line, saw some of it last year. I wasn't super bullish about their big announcement. We're all coming back, we're going to be the Great Wall or something like that. It was suspect at times last year, so they hopefully I'm wrong, but they don't become the cure for the common pass rush deficiency.
They got humbled last week, and they should be better. You're right. We had no pressure on Ball State all day. They did get the ball out relatively quick, but I don't love the odds of generating the same pressure that West Virginia was able to.
All right, what do you two yo-yos think down below? Didn't see any of my game. Did you watch any replay or highlights?
I have seen the highlights. I've seen the drop pick 6. Great way to make it through. I know that things weren't going well, particularly. It was a gross game. Everybody wasn't doing well. I don't think, right?
It was a week 1 game. I definitely think players still made plays on both sides, and
Devin sure looked fast. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
He looked fast.
He wasn't great in coverage on that play.
He split that gap there.
Yeah.
To be able to score that pick 6 was great. Great play. You know what? I like Pitt at home. The Creasier hometown home field advantage. I will take Pitt at home to win by 1. I'll go 31-30.
That's way too few points. We're rolling off the bus with 35.
40 seems to be a bit of a magic number. We'll see.
I still will take him money line.
All right. Wow. I was not expecting that.
Why are you recording right now? Or do you need me? Should I go into recording?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to find it.
I didn't really watch. I did check highlights of Tennessee because I didn't really watch him. I know Roth was worried. He wanted another score up 24-0. Like, seriously, you're fine. Pitt.
I got the score, by the way.
He did. Pitt, West Virginia had the main screen with volume last Thursday for the lion's share of the evening.
Wow.
Sorry,
Nope.
Ken.
Wow.
Sorry, but I was into that game. That game was awesome. Yours was good, but it wasn't. I'd like to pit one more. Incredible camera work on that pick six. How they zoomed out and got the crowd in there. That was beautiful, beautiful work. That's what
Not quite enough of a zoom to see me shirtless, but
no. Hammond,
Not
running
enough.
back.
yes,
for Pitt,
Ronnie Hammond, yes.
runs like a freaking train.
And
Love watching him run.
Kenny Pickett was singing his praises from day one before he had the weekly shows, and he was talking about him in fall camp last year as a true freshman. So good call, Kenny, it seems.
He runs so hard.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. Rob's right. Tennessee's probably going to score. How will Narduzzi, the defensive mind, constantly up here? Very different Pitt team from last year, which is evident. Apparently Whipple is very divisive, polarizing. Not sure. Him and Narduzzi seem to never really mesh, and now
Right.
Whipple and Scott Frost apparently don't mesh. So, but
What's the common denominator?
Yes, you see the denominator.
Asshole head coaches.
You see, last year Whipple's offense was awesome. This year it's completely different. We'll see if Slovis can come and get going. Look, it's the game of the year, and it's basically my party. I'm going to have my cake, and I want to eat it too. So that being said, I do think Tennessee wins, but it's going to be a 4-point game.
There you go.
And,
So the holy try is on Pitt. The holy try is on Pitt. The one guest is not.
it comes down
I picked Tennessee too.
It's going to come down to the end. Either Pitt
But
stalls
you had
out.
Tennessee covering.
Yeah, by 7, I think.
He had it by a touchdown.
Yeah.
Or at
Maybe
6.
6.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's either Pitt stalls out the 20 or Tennessee scores with under a minute to go.
All right.
But I'm going to eat my cake. Can't wait.
Easy.
I'm watching them
Yeah.
on my phone.
Tennessee, a little bit more of a known quantity. Again, we'll see what as time goes on this season what that known
I
quantity
saw them
is.
lose to that Purdue team.
Yeah, I was just
Purdue
going to
team's not
say,
that good.
for what it's worth, every time Heupel's had to make any sort of decision, he's made the one that loses the game. So I hope it's not.
I know what's familiar. That sounds familiar to me.
Well, we will have dual boots on the ground.
Yeah. We'll be under the same roof.
some
Breaking
on-site,
news.
some on-site reporting potentially.
Yeah,
lodging.
we'll be under the same roof Friday and Saturday evening.
That's remarkable.
More cordial tomorrow than Saturday, I suspect.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Ross, safe travels. You guys have fun.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on.
Will do. See you guys. Have a good one.
All right. Peace out.
Ross,
All right, that's it, right, guys? We're wrapping it up.
That's right. Yeah. Wrap it up, I guess. We don't have to talk about anything. Don't need to too deep dive into anything.
Exactly.
where do we go from here?
I know. There's so much build up to the game. I love the plot twist of the lodging shift.
That's where we go.
What's that?
We go to news and notes. That's where we go.
I already ran
Do we have
through
anything other than the what AY mentioned?
Hartman, anything between Hartman and Simon Fraser. Dauber, don't care. What else was there? Any update from Penn State?
What do you got, Ken?
From Penn State regarding what? Just anything?
Anything, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, the safety, Jalen Reed was left with a leg injury from the Purdue game. Franklin kind of said, yeah, he may or may not. He said he'll figure into plans for the remainder of the year. We don't know what that means. So will he be back this week or in 6 weeks? Or we don't know. He said he figured into plans. He doesn't usually say that if it's a season-ending injury, so open all the bets, no information. So, in short, no information from Penn State.
Okay.
All right.
I will ask you at the game, but I think we'll get to that when we get to the Penn State preview.
I think that makes sense, yeah.
That makes sense. I think so.
Save that.
Especially since we don't have much to say about the Bobcats of Ohio, or so I think.
The quarterback had a great best game he's had. He's a 3-year starter, best game he's had in his entire career. Put it on Willie Taggart. He had
that's a big win for them.
Big win for them. But again, we'll get into that in the preview. which I won't dive too deeply into.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's head out to September.
September. All right.
The odds
We
of
didn't want
September.
to recap anything from this past weekend.
Let's see. Yeah, we can do that quick.
Whip around.
Thursday was awesome.
Was that?
Thursday
Was awesome.
Thursday was great. The epicenter of college football, Pennsylvania. As
And
we all know it.
To bookend
As we all know it, the epicenter triangle.
as we know it.
Of Pennsylvania. This is the podcast.
And I guess we can bookend it with, then we'll fill in between. Clemson's offense is still pretty close.
Oh, that is gross. That is gross. We keep going backwards from between. The LSU,
Oh gosh.
the BK. How happy were you when that happened? One. And two, how bad is LSU?
I wasn't as happy as I thought I'd be, but I was happy. I guess I was just, I was happy FSU Michael got a win. I think just the way it happened was just incredible. Like, it wasn't just a normal loss. Like, we came up short on like a 4th and 7. No, you scored with 1 second left. With no time left, and then that happened. Jared Verse, how about him? Showing out.
Pride of Berwick.
Well,
Blue Jay.
yeah, hometown. So, Alker fired up, obviously.
Obviously.
If we go back one day even further at night, Boise State is not good. So
No. Oh my gosh. AY was all over it. He was loving it.
Beeves really put it on him there. Bachmeyer.
Are we seeing the end of the dynasty? The end of the Boise State era as we know it?
I'll give him this year as a 7-5, but if you do it again next year, slipping away.
Just another team.
Filling it all else in between, also between Georgia, I could not have been more wrong. That was wow.
I think they were the only team that played great the whole weekend.
They were really amazing.
Other than Jed Fish.
Jed Fish played really amazing as well. I'm trying to think if anybody else had an amazing performance. Washington.
Individual performances, obviously, but like.
Yes, but team, yes.
Oh, I'm just seeing
Georgia
Delaware
is
beat
the
Navy.
resounding one there.
The other half of the cocktail party rose up.
Oh, yeah, that was nice, but not, perfect by any means.
No.
That game, was that game of the week down in Georgia or down in Gainesville?
Probably, yeah, I would say.
That was great. I mean,
when you blend profile and game goodness.
Yeah, goodness. Yeah, because both LSU and Florida State were still gross at times, right?
Yeah.
And then there was no defense in Boone, and
Right.
I don't know what even to make of EC, the Aylor's effort, giving up the pump block and all the issues. Like, how did they lose?
NC State failing twice from the 1 yard line.
How did they?
Somehow both those teams should have won by like 10.
Exactly. Yeah.
Both of them should have. I don't. That game was weird.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved how weird it was.
Oh, we need to just. You can just go off on Petras if you want.
Whoa! Okay, so here we
In
go.
ways, that was the best game.
Let's read the stat.
Whoa!
Let's read the stat. The most incredible stat I've seen in a long time. What do you make of this stat here?
Was it the 8?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to react to this. I saw the
Was
text.
it the
about it.
175?
Since beating Penn State last year, which was after Penn State was 5-0 on the 6th game of the season. Okay. Iowa has as many touchdown passes, 3. They've got 3 touchdown passes, as their defense and special teams both do as well. In fact, 2 touchdowns belong to Alex Padilla himself. Over that 9-game span, Spencer Petras has 1 touchdown and 8 interceptions. 9 games, he's averaging one of those a game. Either 1 interception. He's averaging almost 1 interception a game. Either 1 touchdown or 1 interception a game.
That part's not even that bad. It's the The one touchdown in. So how many games is that, Ken?
That's
7?
9 games.
9 games. Sorry.
They said over that 9 game span. So between,
Right. Yep.
I think Penn State might have been their 5th game of the season. But it was Penn State's 6th. I think they may have had a bye already.
Okay.
Absolutely incredible.
Yep.
I saw something about they had since 2020. There's been 8 games of a team winning less than 175 yards and 8 or more punts, and Iowa has 6 of those wins. It's something insanely ridiculous like that. It's like, you've got to be kidding me.
The 2 safety game again. Iowa involved again. This time on the other side of the coin. 7 points without scoring a touchdown. It hasn't happened since I think 2000 or something like that. So again, do you think Kirk will actually fire his son if this progresses this year? If this keeps going, the way it's been going and the way that it is going? You don't think he'll fire him? You still?
I don't. I mean, at this point,
If he hasn't, hasn't yet, like what more do you say?
It's absolutely astounding how bad they are. Can't believe it. What other storylines do we have from the first week? Let's see. Let me just glance through here.
Lyo got off the mat.
Really?
Overtime win over Tulsa. Yeah.
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 Was it Wyoming that had the field goal that go off the top of the upright?
Yes. They kicked it. I think that was
So
the end
does
of
that
regulation.
count if it goes off the top?
No, it didn't count.
No
Yeah.
good.
Okay. I was gonna say. But how do you know if it's over the top or if it's like
no
halfway
idea.
over the top?
No idea. They called it no good immediately.
Ooh. All right. Cincy showing some teeth. Cincy played a pretty good game.
Oh, here
Or
we go.
is
I'm sorry. Most wins when punting 8+ times since 2020. Iowa has 6. 8 FBS teams tied with 2.
oh, okay, so that's not as bad then.
That's not bad, but still, they're triple.
It was literally 3/4 of anything that happened. That'd be okay.
That's so
That's
gross.
amazing.
Yeah,
The
Arky,
Pitman, not bad.
not bad.
Now, do you think this is Cincy being good or Pitman being overrated? And
No,
are
I
you
think
buying
Cincy
into
is already. Cincy probably could have won the game from what I saw.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Is Cincy that good? Because Pitman thinking, there's some juice there. People loving Pitman this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be all right.
I would give a little bit more love to Cincy here.
What do we
Except
think?
That drive, they started at first and goal at the 3, and
That was
kicked it.
gross.
Oh, they got the
30-yard
field goal. Yeah.
Yes. And then they had the fumble in the territory. They were about to go in also, I think.
They missed a couple field goals as well.
There's a lot of squad. He had 2 in the first half. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
they're all week 1 games. I mean, it's, I hate to,
Yeah.
Now,
Now, after watching the first week, including Daner against UTSA, great game. Maybe the game of the week. Are we thinking that Fickle can keep it rolling because Daner is the favorite outside the Group of 5?
no, I said UCF's winning that American.
You did.
I'm not going to.
America says. Okay, you said. America said
Yeah.
that Houston is the odds-on favorite in the American.
Yep.
Still stand by that. Oh, yeah, I guess you're not.
I do not agree. I do not agree. We shall see, though.
We shall see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ride Clayton Tune to the American.
I don't know. After watching both those games, at least from game 1, I'm not sure about Daner.
Well, again, Ken,
In
as I called
comparison-
you out for last week, you said Florida State, citing how they played against Duquesne.
All right, true. You're true.
Ken you love to immerse in the moment,
That is very true. I am immersive.
but it does make for good fodder also. So
I am all about the
You're
fodder.
just right.
Definitively.
I
I'm
just
all
said,
about
well, it's only week 1, then we'd have a 3-minute show.
exactly.
So
And speaking of 3-minute shows, do we have any further recappage?
I don't think so. I did try and sneak in there. Navy lost to Delaware. I missed that.
That was not good. Ken N's got to be nearing the end of his road now, right?
I don't know.
Well, with that said, we do not look like we've got a great slate this week, but as we said last week, sneaky bad slate, as we say every week that there is not a good slate, that's when all the shit happens. So I'm excited. I am excited. What are we thinking here? You thinking it's going to be a good week?
I have a terrible game slot. So not that the Saturday game I went to was much better, but so I don't know that I'll be that impacted whether the slate is good or bad.
When's yours? You got his 12 also?
3:30.
3:30. No, you've got a good game slot because I don't think there's anything going on at 3:30 besides your game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, logistically speaking, in terms of actually being able to sit down and watch something.
Oh, yeah, because it's right in the middle.
Yep. So, no, it doesn't look great. And as I did bring up a little bit ago, the NFL return may have something to do with that, how they schedule their games. Or it could just be early in the season.
Yep.
The late slate is good. I will say that. You've got
After dark this week.
the Baylor BYU game and the Beavs against Fresno.
Yeah.
Fired up.
That should be a good flippage. And then you got Nate Diaz, UFC Swan Song. But this
The
is
Diaz.
The Diaz, not a UFC podcast though. So
And you have the 2022 Gold Cup with the World of Outlaws. I'll be up all night.
I wonder if Roth will be streaming the Dirt Vision. We'll see. We'll see if we can.
It'll be passed out. But yeah, Saturday night's awesome. It'll be a good night. I'm trying to find. I'm just looking ahead I'm trying to find a line. I wanted to one mention through James Madison. First. First FBS game. They opened a can on Mitsu.
Yeah, good job.
The Mitsu.
Good job, brother Signetti. I think he's still the coach there, right? Which one's that? That's Kurt Signetti, I think.
One of
Frank
the
Signetti is Pittsburgh.
A Signetti. You've got the most important one, I think. The most famous one, I think.
Yeah. Although Frank, I think his dad coached at West Virginia, I believe.
Yeah.
There's that.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, they're laying 37.5 this week to Norfolk.
Battle for Virginia.
Who just got pasted by Marshall, who goes to South Bend. Full circle. We'll get to that in 20
Good
minutes.
segue.
Let's start with the slate this week. The nooner of the week, for whatever it's worth. Alabama travels to Texas. 20
Will you be there, Ken?
Favorites.
I will not be there this time.
I would like to take the points here, mainly because we have seen Texas in some spots early in the season. I'm not going to say if it's against a team that this podcast covers almost exclusively or not, but we've seen those types of spots kind of unexpectedly play better. No way they're going to win. I will say that. And they've had some surprisingly positive performances against Oklahoma over the past decade when not much was expected. So I think that's the reason why, along with Quinn Ewers, we'll see. There's just the chance that he's going to go off within the context of covering 20.5 points.
Right.
Maybe he has an epic backdoor cover performance where he throws for like 300 yards in the second half and Nick Saban's like throwing a tantrum even though they're up 30. But obviously no flaws in Alabama's performance against Utah State. So have to take him to win, I think. Anybody on the defense worth noting on Texas other than they just have another slew of 4- and 5-star guys that give up 50 points to Kansas?
Overshown is still there, I think. The big IFA they got. But otherwise, I don't think anybody over there. I mean, they got all the offensive weapons, right? Oh, they're all gassed.
Don't just hand the ball to Bijan. That's what I'm afraid that Sark may try and do.
Well, they've got the best quarterback to come out since Trevor Lawrence, so they should be throwing it, and they got weapons. And they got weapons.
Yep. I want to see a Venus flytrap operation.
Could have had Braylon Addison. Could have been even better.
Yeah. Or Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison.
Or him.
Who's Braylon Addison?
And Addison.
Braylon Addison went to Oregon, I think, right?
That sounds right.
I want to see Alabama go in there and just humor them. So, something about Texas. I don't really know any Texas fans.
Some things about Texas.
Some things about Texas, yeah. I just enjoy the Texas is back remarks. I think we might get that maybe in the first drive, a nice pass. Texas is back. We'll be floating around chats, and then the beatdown. So, just for the sake of thinking, like, when this game gets started, what side would I rather be on here? I think I would just rather be on Bama running a train than Texas playing up and holding on. By the way, we did brutal last week.
Oh, yeah. Would I go 4-7?
And you're in first.
Yeah. That was all that contrarian pick.
So I'm just gonna go Square City here. Just give me Bama.
All right.
Squares can be.
All right.
Okay.
Although I did see what Texas was up on a top 10 team 3 times last year in the second half. But then again, this is a different breed of top 10 team. So they could keep it close, but I'll say 48-17.
Okay. I don't have a score. I don't think I really gave a score for the Pitt game either.
I'll go 49-14. Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The trend continues.
Yeah.
That's right.
South Carolina, Archie.
Oh, God. Don't make me pick this one.
But I think Scar got pretty lucky this week. Rat didn't look great. And
Rat milk.
Archie going here. I think they put a lot on him here. Archie by 2 touchdowns for sure. Jefferson was not as good as I wanted Arkansas to look. Jefferson was pretty good.
He didn't look bad.
So
not look bad.
Give me
take your words for it.
Give me Archie covering. Pittman.
I'll take him more. I'll take him more than 7. I'm taking Pittman by 10.
See, this is the same exact logic I used last weekend. I feel a tad robbed since he didn't at least cover that game. But when is the Pittman going to get some respect in the market? He should be a double-digit favorite here as well, and it makes me nervous that he's not. So I have to take Scar.
Everybody was on Bama, right?
No, I have Texas covering.
Texas.
Yeah, your stenography.
Bad.
It sputtered at the end.
Yeah, it did. I do.
Last week from your contraband that you were.
Yeah, how do you go through back? Washington State traveling to Wisconsin. Sweet game here.
My gosh, yeah.
A Rose Bowl in September of sorts and Camp.
A Rose Bowl in September of sorts.
17.5 points.
You think there aren't many more fan bases that are more alike than these two? Aside from the fact that one of them passes all the time, there's no passing, one's for running, but fan base wise, these guys just like getting drunk.
Yeah. I think Wisconsin takes umbrage with that comment, but I could see it.
Out in the cold and in the tundra.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about Washington State this year.
They got the transfer QB that everybody loved from FCS. Cam Ward. Cameron Ward, I think his name is.
From Incarnate Word.
Yeah. Yep.
Ward from Word. The Ward with the Ward from Word. The Ward from Word. Yep.
They didn't obviously fire on all cylinders. It didn't seem against Idaho. Did not catch any of that game.
No.
I'm going to take the points, though, once again here, just because that is huge, and I do not like one Graham Mertz until he proves me wrong.
Mertz is gross.
What Dan said.
Thank you.
I 17.5 maybe too many, but I'll still take Wisconsin. They generally do pretty good against non-conference foes. So I will take them to win by 21. I'll do 42-21, and they will handle whatever this Washington State team is. We don't know yet.
Whatever they are.
We still don't know.
Well, here we go. The
Tough
first
one to call here.
first of the kind this year. A ranked Houston Cougar team at an unranked Texas Tech, and the unranked team favored by 3.5.
As we just call it, the angle.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to add a layer to this angle, a qualifier. You must. This is the AP ranking. This is week 2. Throw it out. I'm going to say anything before October is not in my angle play here, not an auto play. I'm going to back Daner. I know last week with UTSA, but week 1, UTSA maybe pretty good. Maybe, but relative. And Texas Tech is Texas Tech. They're always going to be Texas Tech. Give me Houston and Clayton Tune. Mentioned earlier, get it rolling. Outright, you're getting 3.5. Who needs it? Reverse cover plus reverse double cover. Houston by 7.
All right. No Tyler Show. First time I'm mentoring him this year. Shuck got hurt early on in the game. Shog. He but the quarterback that took over in his stead last year, I think is it Donovan Smith or Zonovan Smith? It's something along those lines. Took over and played all right given the competition level. So I will go with the angle, which is a very rare move for me. Normally I am the one going against the angle because I would love to miss it 7 times out of 10, but get it right 3 times and say, hey, I got it right 3 times. But I will take the angle this time. Weird game from Daner. Week 1. I know it was week 1. Tough trip and battle for Texas here. Never underestimate it.
Never underestimate. What did everybody choose for this?
I have Texas Tech, AYS Houston outright.
Okay.
So who you going with, Ken?
I'm going Houston. I said I like Daner this year. I said I'll stick with them even after the tough win this past week.
Yeah.
Okay. Elastico.
Oh gosh.
Look, I'm excited for this game when Iowa State is good, and then I don't know why I am because they always find a way to screw themselves over and just blow it.
They are so bad against Iowa.
They're so bad against Iowa. Iowa's so bad themselves, but are amazing against Iowa State, and just gross. Not so gross, but good enough gross to win 8 games a year somehow. So I'm picking Iowa. I'm hoping Iowa State beats them by 60. But Iowa's probably going to beat them by 15 because it's Alaska.
I think I pick.
Does not throw a touchdown either.
They just run it.
Maybe
he runs for some. How many rushing touchdowns does he have in that?
I have not looked into that.
We haven't looked into that.
I don't want to look into that.
Get research into that.
Yeah.
I think I pick Iowa State every year. And per Kegs and Eggs, I've been wrong the last 6 years and not even covered 5 of those 6 years. So I will once again, law of averages.
You are due.
I'm a deckhead. Hunter Deckers. They get it done outright. That's just so hard to come back from. And I know it's gambling and that's how it works. You have to hold your nose. This is the ultimate nose holder if you are backing
oh my god
Iowa with
don't
money.
Even watch it. Better do the crack and just go get a manicure.
Exactly, yeah. Shout out crack man.
Crack
So
man.
Candy, you also have Iowa though.
I am on the Iowa. Thank you for spoiling. This is a little peek behind the curtain, but yes, Can also has Iowa.
Did you have some reveal to build up to it?
I had some good build up.
Not
Spoiled.
I mean, you can still present it to us.
No, that's it.
I thought you just said I agree with AY.
I agree. I agree.
All right. Well, maybe save it for next time.
Yep.
Virginia.
Here we go, baby. Here we
Hold
go.
on. AY, did you have Wazoo or whiskey? I'm still slacking here.
I took the points.
You took the points.
Wazoo.
Dan and AY
Virginia.
are on Wazoo.
Virginia at Illinois.
Oh,
game
this
here.
one's sneaky.
Sneaky game. Illinois
Love this
minus
game.
4.5. Champaign.
Champagne.
I don't know much about Illinois. I know we talked about them last week.
They've already played 2 games.
I know.
Probably
I
should be 2-0.
I know the Wyoming game was just a blind. I knew Wyoming was really bad, so I didn't really put any stock in that. But
What are they?
now I'm wondering how good is Illinois?
They're good enough to be favored here at home against the Ass Strong.
Astro.
Another Vegas zone point spread here, 4.5. If you guys are still deliberating, this is my lock of the week. I'm locking up the Zima drinking weenies.
Oh,
I'm still high enough on this
no.
team.
You're locking them up.
Yep. I think the offense will travel to Champaign is my very, very short synopsis. I know they putzed around a little bit, it seemed, against Richmond. I'm not too concerned about it. Better quarterback by a lot when you go into the good old ass strong versus Tommy DeVito.
You don't think it'd be too ruckus there?
Could be
I
ruckus.
think
That
it
is
could
one
be the
thing.
Raucous. Yeah, the new Soldier Field. I think it's Soldier Field.
They're
I think
calling
they
it
also-
Soldier Field now?
I think it's also called Memorial Stadium.
Right, yeah.
Fighting Ockers already scored, I see.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Impressive opening drive from
did. Yeah. Should have taken the DK no risk or risk 7-point.
no sweat bet. Is that what they're doing?
No, it's not a no sweat
That's
bet because
FanDuel.
yeah, it was the 7-point thing where if the team that you pick money line goes up by 7, you automatically win the bet, even if they end up losing.
Oh, nice.
They did that for the NBA Finals. If your teams went up 10, then you would win.
Good plug. Not a
7
sponsor.
points in football is equivalent to a 10-point lead in basketball. In NBA.
That's what they're saying.
Do you agree?
A 7
Sure.
point. Yeah. Sure.
All right. I disagree. I'm going Big Ten pride here. I think Burt's.
You've been loving the Big Ten Pro.
I love the Big Ten. I love the Burt. I think he's doing a good job building that program, and I think he's got him in a better spot right now than the new Virginia coach has got theirs. Not Chad Morris. The Chad Morris wannabe.
Tony Elliott.
I'll go with Dan. I like Armstrong, and if he's feeling good
Of
enough
course,
to lock him up,
you've got ACC pride.
yeah, so it makes sense.
The one-ranked matchup. Oh, no, not the one-ranked matchup. BYU Baylor. Oh, my God. The night slate, like
And
you
Pitt,
said.
Tennessee?
And Pitt, Tennessee. No, they're not night slate.
Oh, I thought you said the ranked matchup.
No, sorry. Men night slate. But yes, ranked matchup as well. Wow, we do have some good ranked matchup. I don't think this is an ass slate, actually. No,
You've overlooked it.
I overlooked a couple of these. Yeah.
It builds for sure. Kentucky, Florida. Florida, 5.5 point favorite. Weird number again.
Yeah. You got to sell high. I'll
I'm
just
not
say it.
selling high. Get Kentucky out of here. They're overrated. I'm going Florida.
Ooh, the spite bet against
AR-15,
Taz
I
Levis.
bought in. AR-15, Ken has bought in. He has bought himself an AR-15.
The astigmatism rifle. So he doesn't wear his glasses during the game?
No,
or does he?
apparently he doesn't. And he doesn't even wear that face mask or that helmet for sake,
Yeah.
for that matter, during the game.
But yeah, I mean, I think just that's a epic win they had. A little bit deceiving, maybe, from what I saw and read. In terms of the red zone defense, very fortunate. And Kentucky now on a little bit of a roll after the losing streak. They've beat them a couple of times, right, in the last.
I mean, that's as much of a roll. It's not a little bit of a roll. That is as rolling as it gets.
Yeah,
Rolling
maybe,
down there.
just
Rolling.
maybe. M. Stoops has cracked the Florida code.
Well, at the expense of a relationship with John Calipari.
That's
Perfect.
true, yeah.
I was just gonna bring up. I'm back in the football school.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Ken, you're loving this Florida team, though.
I'm all in. I'm all in on the Nape.
I'll just take them to win outright too.
I did pick them to win, didn't I?
Oh, I won't do that. I'll say Gators by a field goal, but AY saying outright. Wow.
I mean, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. I picked him outright last week, or the team that they're playing outright last week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh my gosh, USC number 10.
This is going to be so one-sided. I have to.
What is the
imagine.
number 10 USC?
This line came down 2.5 points last few days.
Which I was stunned by. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm jumping on board with this team here.
That's probably the right way to go.
I'll take the 7.5.
Wow.
I don't think Stanford has much, but USC aided by 3 pick sixes. I get it. They shut out the first game. It took Rush completely out of the game plan. I mean, obviously you're struggling with that, but weird stuff. Pac-12, USC early season. Nah, I don't trust it as far as I can throw it. I'll take the points. SOS.
Okay.
SOS.
I'm going USC.
Which way you go?
SOS either way.
That's the game for SOS. As much SOS as you can get.
I'm picking USC. Ken, how about you?
I'm taking USC as well.
Falling for it.
In-depth prediction there for both of us.
Baylor, BYU. The Cougs laying 3.5 at home against this Baylor team. The BYU went down to South Florida, stomped on them.
No offense to Mike Brown. Mike Brown was thinking 6 wins before the season.
Now he also had the weather delay. Did he go to that game?
Yeah, I don't know if he did, but I know he had bought a number of tickets or some season tickets in preparation for when they get the on campus stadium.
There you go.
He's laying the roadmap for you, Dan, or you're laying the roadmap for him. You've had season tickets forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll ride with them then. I would take BYU here to cover. Baylor, I think the magic is gone. I don't think they're as good as they were last year, but I feel that about them all the time. Aranda, a good coach. A good coach, but I will take BYU here. The battle for religious freedom. Fanatics.
Yeah, they don't have Gary or Jerry Bohannon anymore.
They've got the Shapstick, though.
They don't have Charlie Brewer, who just got hurt. Who knows? He'll be
For
back
Liberty.
next year.
Yeah.
He'll be back next year somewhere. We don't know. I'm sure he'll be somewhere else. I don't really know what Baylor has. I know they have a pretty good defense. But I'm going to, 2 games in a row, go with the SOS here. BYU,
Right.
get a big win here for me. Gonna
Okay.
need it. I'll say they cover. Win by 4.
Yeah.
right.
Admittedly, don't know a ton about Baylor. Know a little bit about BYU, but really just want to watch this game. So fired up for it.
I'll say Baylor, solid defense with solid defensive staff, it seems, and an upgraded quarterback. Blake Shapen, Shapstick.
The chapstick.
I'm going to steal that from Brad Gilbert, BG, calling Dennis Shapovalov the tennis player Shapstick. Shapstick, an upgraded QB. He did have to come in, and I can't remember if he played that bowl game against Ole Miss. That I don't recall.
I think he did.
But they also didn't light the world on fire offensively in that game either.
But they did win.
At least through the air. So, yeah, tough. Better accurate more accurate quarterback, and I'm gonna believe in the Bears. I say they win by 1.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah, I'll take them outright.
Okay.
All right. This last one, Oregon State, Fresno State. Excuse me. Then wherever you look, half point either way. We'll go pick them here. 2 sweet teams. Beavs against the Hainers. I hope they tie.
You got to go Beavs, though, right?
I'm going Beavs.
I'll be stunned if AY doesn't go Beavs here.
I think I'm going Fresno State.
I'm going Fresno, too. Wow, that is surprising. Yeah, I mean, as long as Fresno doesn't spit up on itself the way Boise did, I think that having the better quarterback and then also being at home
I think they'll really
having
up
easier week one.
I think they'll be really up for this game, like they were UCLA last year. Or was it 2 years ago? Last year.
I think it was last year, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a believer in Jonathan Smith. I like what he's doing out there. He let me down in the ball game as he did you, Dan.
We do not have one consensus pick yet.
And that's good. That's good. I'm going
That's
Beavs.
surprising. Normally, I guess they come in waves.
They come in waves. I'm going Beavs.
All right.
I think we might have a consensus pick coming up here, though.
For your game?
Yeah, for my game. Because it's definitely not. It's like 26.5 now. 25.5. 25.5. Or it was 25.5. I think it's coming back down to 24.5. But it was at 23.5. It was tucked in under at 24 before. Oh, what a game. What a game in West Lafayette. Penn State still can't run the ball. Penn State, offensive line, still ass for the most part. Aside, though, a little bit step forward. The right tackle, okay, not that good. Linebacker depth is scary. We suffered a couple losses there, but they one of them for the targeting reason, and then one of them for a couple plays. But got scary there for a little bit. But the secondary, they're studs. Great secondary play. I mean, no one's going to stop Aiden O'Connell, but I think they did just about as good a job as you can against a quarterback like that. I mean, they're two very different six-year quarterbacks that played in that game. Right? We got the guy, Aiden O'Connell, that I think he's an NFL quarterback, honestly.
He looked so. Sorry, I know. Like when we watched him in the bowl game in Tennessee, he was great, but just going, he improved so much. But going back to the Notre Dame game last year versus the Penn State game this year, two totally different players. Incredible.
I know the guy. I mean,
he was like I said, he was benched last year.
Yeah, well, he's the kind of guy that can have a Kenny Pickett type of a year. If you want
not your quarterback?
Not mine. Mine is not that type of a 6-year quarterback. Especially you watch him.
That's what I've been told. I'm still holding out hope for the Clifford.
He did find that weapon.
Making the dumb decisions. Well, the one throw, I mean, it wasn't a dumb decision, the right decision, but it's just a terrible throw. Just completely unreal. But aside from that, like, he's still throwing up his back foot. Listen, I don't think he's as bad as, like, we've seen him be, but he's definitely not, at least from the game we saw, taking, like, the step forward that we were on. We, Dan, as a Sean Clifford fan, and me as a non-Penn State fan, we're hoping, right? But
now you want the Alar.
Again, no. I mean, Alar comes in for that one series, and everybody's just in their pants.
He was the College Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week.
Sean Clifford was, I know. He had a great. I mean, statistically, and he went down, won the game. Listen, it's not like he had a bad game. I don't think he had a bad game by any means, but I think he had, and he had a couple of bad throws. Obviously, the one really bad one, and a couple of bad decisions. But I mean, he definitely isn't as bad as I've seen him be.
I think he's the same we've seen. His trajectory is like the slowest rise. I think he's like a smidge better than he was.
I don't know if he's. That's what I'm saying. Is like I've seen him have better games. I've seen him have much worse games. So maybe his on medium, on average, a little bit better. But I mean, it wasn't the market improvement that you definitely hope for, especially in against a defense like Purdue that's lost Karlaftis. Has had some injuries. That defense is not the best defense he's going to play. Now, whether they were holding some stuff back, I don't know. I mean, but, second year of the system, you were thinking maybe he's going to come out and show some things. I mean, he's Still, like, not to say he had bad stats, but that guy was throwing 50% the whole game, right? Including some really bad throws. But give him credit where credit's due. He went down the field and won the game. When it mattered most, like Joe Klatt said, he had his best drive when it mattered most. Like Gus said, it was one of the best drives he's ever seen, which is incredible. Which I love. I was cracking up listening to that.
Well, he did said something similar in the Wisconsin game last year.
Really?
He had some very hyperbolic statement at the end of the Wisconsin game last year.
And it's funny because some people brought it up. Joe Klatt said it during the telecast. 6-year quarterback, if he's coming back, that usually means he's probably not good enough to move on, right? He did not say the same thing. There's truth to that. But he did not say the same thing about Aiden O'Connell, and I think I know the difference. You saw the IQ and the types of plays that he was making. I would never in a million years expect that from Sean Clifford. If he executed that same, like, IQ-wise, like, on average, about 3 out of 10 times, I think it would be decent.
So you're saying if you guys traded quarterbacks last week, Penn State wins by 24?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
I picked a 17-point win with Sean Clifford, so yeah. But all that to say, the most concerning thing, Clifford was not the most concerning thing by a mile. I think he had, like I said, a halfway decent game.
Don't even say it.
I won't say it.
Lawn boys.
But yes, those lawn boys. I think they need to settle on one guy and ride him because running backs can't get into the rhythm. They can't feel out the game. They can't get it. Get lathered up.
But how do you get 4 of them on your roster? How do you get 4 5-star guys on your roster without doing that?
Well, one of them didn't even get a carry. 28 didn't even get a carry. The other three all were like 9 or 10 carries each, all around 30 yards. In all, 98 yards. I think that's not going to get it done. And it's against a team like Purdue, which all due respect is not that good. They're not known for their defense.
No, never have been.
Never have been. So,
no.
Listen, I think it's kind of the last. If they can't get something going against a team like Ohio, we may be in for another. I don't know. I really don't know if we can't get it going against Ohio, running game wise. All that to say, I do think they do get above the 200-yard mark rushing. And I think
Here we go, Cam believes.
I see a good, hard-fought 28-point cover here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm not buying into this Ohio sorcery.
They're not good. Rourke, I didn't say anything about Ohio. Good game last week. This first game they won against FAU.
Yeah, we already complimented them.
In September. Rourke had a good game. Good win against FAU. So, good win.
Yeah. Let's just do it. Let's all agree here.
This was the one I said was going to be the consensus coming up.
Yeah. Like Ohio, it doesn't really do it for me. Penn State, the game against Purdue, I think similar to NC State, ECU. I think both teams could have, for sure, won by 10 or 14. Purdue's play calling in the fourth quarter, especially, Braum just foot on the gas the entire way. It's like a chicane coming up. I'm just gonna floor it. Dude, either run it, and that running back, I forget his name, that guy against the D. He runs freaking. He runs freaking hard too.
He was pretty good. I don't know how they had 100-something rushing attack last year.
Very stoked watching him and Hammond on 2 screens just bulldozing. Those guys are awesome. But Braum wanted to sling it, so good for you. You play stupid games, you win a stupid prize, and you lose. So just that fumble before the half and the long touchdown that tight end stable. Great tight ends there, so expected. But I do think Penn State covers this week. I do think they try and run the ball. I would hope it gets going a little bit. And we've well documented Franklin is kind of a cock late in games. And
it looks like one.
Yeah, so if it's ever flirting with a cover, I would want to be on the Franklin side.
Speaking of, I know we mentioned Clemson briefly, but at the onset, I was going to compare Klubnik, everybody in a frenzy over his performance in insignificant time of the game, as well as Alar's performance. I guess it was a closer game, obviously, when he came in, but it's funny. Also, Dabo, amazing. I know we didn't pick the game last week, but amazing procurement of the cover to make sure he's like, just even got 24 and a half. We got you.
He needed it for his extension today.
Yep. So.
Okay. We already talked about Tennessee Pitt, and so we are on to AY.
Thought he was getting a prop of some sort.
No.
He's thundering in.
How was it, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, similar to my reaction to the Pitt game, I thought both teams played okay by what was expected of them. And it was, both games were absolutely awesome. I'm still a little bit tired, and we're almost into the next week of games. So it was a great time. I like going in there. I've sat underneath. It's the B level, which has overhead cover just in case of any sort of precipitation. I'm a big proponent of that. This time, however, 2 of the seats were impaired by a beam, partially impaired by a beam. So double check your tickets or your seats if you're ever buying tickets on the B level. I sat there. I didn't really care, obviously, who won the game. You mentioned I forget which. You mentioned, was it Fresno State, Oregon? No.
Oregon State, yeah.
Oregon State. You wanted the tie? I was hoping for a tie in that game, in your game, even though, I was.
Watch out for the obstructive view. That is a thing in Buckeyes.
Yeah, B level. I think it's only B level. Because that's the way I was looking at the but we would have got tickets in the C level if not for the weather threat. Anyway, back to the game itself. I thought it was hilarious that Notre Dame popped that huge play on the very first play from scrimmage because they just made all this Jim Knowles this, huge deal out of it. Him coming to Ohio State, and then they give up a huge play.
And he was pretty good. He was pretty damn good.
But then they settled in. Yeah, so I had to eat my words a little bit, but I was laughing and high-fiving with the Notre Dame faithful on that first play. I couldn't believe it. And then
were you switching back and forth?
Oh yeah, I did the whole neutral. I was high-fiving everybody when a team. It was truly. I wish I would have had the Rob Lowe NCAA.
Oh yeah.
Hat. It was truly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would have been blown away if Notre Dame had actually pulled that out. Obviously.
Oh yeah. That would have been great to watch.
I mean, the toughest play of the game, in what I still believe was a coin flip game, toughest play was that offensive pass interference. I thought in the stadium for sure, and then I watched it 3 or 4 times the next day, and I was like, I can't tell how bad of a call. I think it probably should have been a no call, especially from where the ball landed. But you figure if that doesn't, even if it's just an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, huge difference. The way Notre Dame was trying to move the ball from 1st and 25.
I don't want to cut you off, but that's my whole thing there. I'm not saying it's the game, but that is the clear turning point. 2 plays earlier was the Lenzy 30-yard reviewable catch. Was the catch? Was not a catch? I think
that was the bobbling, and then
that was.
I heard Chris Fowler thought it was an interception. He was taking a drubbing.
Yeah. No! Wait, that was the Salerno bobble.
Okay, all right, yeah, I couldn't remember the
Lenzy he caught it and the ball hit the turf, but he caught it before that, and it was like a 32-yard play on the sideline, right when Ohio it was 14-10. So late third, they just scored, and then the next play was the Jets sweep to Tyree, which 2 plays went for 45 yards to Ohio State 41. And then the next play was the offensive pass interference. After that play, Notre Dame ran 6 more plays the rest of the game.
Yeah.
They had 2 Buckner runs, Tyree run for no gain. I went back and watched it today.
Yeah.
They had a incomplete pass.
Good punt. They had a good punt.
Another incomplete pass in there. And their final play they ran from scrimmage, aside from the punt late in the 4th, was a Buckner sack.
Yeah.
So after that offensive PI that went from possible 1st and 10 on the Ohio State 25. Let's just call it. I'll take the neutral. 2nd and 10.
Even if it's 2nd and 10, huge
2nd
difference.
10 at the Ohio State 41.
Yeah.
Turned into 1st and 25 at our own 45. Notre Dame ran 6 plays for -2 yards after that county flag. I mean, could be coincidence, but that was just such a huge play for a team that couldn't get anything going, but was just hanging around and just needed that little boost, and they were building on that with the Lenzy catch, the Tyree jet sweep.
Yeah, they got 4 or 5 big plays throughout the game. Was really
if they had gotten that Salerno catch, they were at 2nd and 10 to 41 even. You find Mayer for set the 3rd and 2 or 3, and then roll the dice 2 times in a row. The game as a whole, having gone back and rewatch, sacked Stroud the first play of the game, and then never really got to him after that. They didn't sack him again. They forced him outside, but he kind of had it his way. He was a little off. Secondary was, I thought, incredible. They were so much better than what I ever would have imagined. The final touchdown Ohio State had was that safety. No, the one to go ahead 14-10 was a safety blitz. Tough. I mean, yeah, tried something new. He got beat on it. Stroud is amazing. Jackson Smith-Njigba didn't play a lot of the game.
That's what the Ohio State fans are saying.
That's what they're blaming.
I don't want to hear.
I don't want to hear it at all. You have 95 stars. I don't care.
Exactly. It's the most preposterous thing.
You have the Heisman front runner. You have a Heisman running back. I don't want to hear one word about Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Exactly.
I don't.
Who is great, but
even though we had him as one of our dark horse Heisman.
Yeah.
But there is that is not an excuse if you lose one guy in your Ohio State, even against Notre Dame.
You have Stover, Ballard, Marvin Harrison. You have the number 1 overall recruit 3 years ago. I don't care. And you have C.J. Stroud. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. But the D-line could have played better. Linebackers were great. The defense as a whole was great. They just, the end 95-yard drive. They were playing lights out all game long. And you have 21 Ohio State's fine. Offensively, couldn't really get the run game going. Buckner, okay. I guess it's a little bit better than I thought it was going to be, but still kind of what I thought it was going to be.
I mean, he's a freshman quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. I think we're going to see a very nice growth throughout the year. I thought the O-line was fine for Notre Dame. I thought Ohio State's offensive line was awesome. I know reports of that preseason were could be weak. Athlon had a number 1 in the country. For that's worth. I thought they'd be pretty decent, and I thought they were. And Ohio State's defense was pretty good. Notre Dame's offense was, super dangerous, but pretty good. Michael Mayer did what he could. That fumble gave me a heart attack, and he recovered it.
Oh yeah.
But he was awesome. Receiving.
It was a good showing. It was a great showing by you guys.
Styles is going to need to step up, I think, and be the guy. But Buckner's going to need to be a guy too. I think it was a good showing. I know. Initially, I was just pleased. Don't get blown out, show out, take a 10-7 lead really late in the third quarter. That was all fun, but
10 points is concerning.
You just want to win one of these and play better. This is like the Georgia game at Georgia. They lost 24-16. Like they were up at halftime that game too, but you thought they weren't going to score again.
Yep.
So things to work on. We'll see what Marshall can do. Marshall, awesome last week against Norfolk. Sweet.
Norfolk.
Charles Huff can.
Charles Huff, the Chucky Huff.
Oh, this is his second year. I thought he was new.
Yeah, no, he was there last year. Had a good year. The James Franklin coaching tree continues to bloom.
There it is.
There it is.
Where's John Donovan?
So where are we going this week? I know Marshall. I'm not taking anything last week, obviously, with Norfolk. I was going through looking new quarterback from last year.
I'll take Notre Dame here.
I'm going to take Marshall only because I think this is a little bit too low. That has my antennas up, and I want to see your offense score. So that's a prove me wrong.
Prove it to Dan. Prove it.
I don't think this is going to be. I don't think this is going to be a Toledo type performance, though.
So you're saying a stiff arming.
The comfortable stiff arming, maybe like 34-17.
Stiff arm is fully out.
Yeah,
fully
34-17 or something.
Full
Like
stiff
that.
arm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dan here. I'm gonna say 31-13. I think maybe the defense gets a score because I don't think the offense is scoring that many points. I know it's one game, but yeah. And Marshall might move it a little bit, but I do like the defense that might even be a little closer, 27-13, but I feel okay about it. Excited to see just for this offense what they do from a week 2 adjustment against an easier opponent, and if it's not encouraging this week, then I'm not gonna panic, but gonna be like, all right, well, might be time to figure it out. Because I think Cal's on deck. Where that's worth, but
Look-ahead spot. Cal.
I guess too. Since we're in the middle of this U.S. Open, in a way, hold serve for a few weeks until you can, create a break point opportunity, and then Cabo's on the break point, which would be, I guess BYU be the first break, then go for the set against Clemson. Long way down the line, though.
Yeah, we'll see how BYU looks against this Baylor team.
One game at a time here, but
that could be an interesting one. If they have to get into the 30s, say.
Okay, let's wrap it up here. Locks of the week.
Zimas plus what, 4.5?
Dan's got it. Dan took him.
I believe Tony. I keep wanting to say Tony Scott, but that was the director, Tony Elliott.
Tony Elliott, you're right. You said it right the first time as well. I am jumping on, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid that it's jumped up almost another touchdown. But I wanted to take him. Should have taken them when they were -8. But I will take them now that they've got their quarterback back, Sam Hartman, at minus. Well, I don't even know what it is. 12, 13. I'll take him anything under the 2 touchdowns. I got them winning by 2 touchdowns here. Vandy, that number, and all the respect they're getting from scoring 100-something odd points in their first 2 games. They'll go up against a real team here, and they'll get boat raced by more than 2 touchdowns.
All right. The ACC needs it, Ken.
Yeah. What am I picking it at?
Wherever you want.
Make up your
minus one and a half.
-1. Let's see here. That game did catch my eye.
I wanted it at -8, but now it's all the way up to minus 13 and a half. Minus 13. I'll take it at minus 13.
I'm actually really.
And Z-Must plus 4.5.
Yep.
And AY, what do you got?
AY deliberating.
I had one earlier, but I didn't write it down. Like I knew I should have. I think.
Are you taking Mac -7?
No. Crap, this is really pissing me off. I had it earlier too. It was a mid. It wasn't UTSA. It wasn't. Georgia State could give UNC some trouble. Watch out for that.
So he's thinking the other way, Ken.
Whoa.
Yeah, watch out for that. It's not Mac. It's not Houston. It's not Colorado State. Was it? I think UAB is going to squash Liberty. That wasn't it. Was it Central Michigan? I think.
Oh yeah, against the Ballstadt.
I'm not looking forward to that game in a couple weeks.
Like, yeah, I went to 5-point favorites. Not Mountain West, Mac.
Yeah, it's about 5. South Alabama.
Yeah, that's it. Central Michigan.
Western Michigan plays Ballstadt.
Yeah, I'm going Central. So they did last week against Okie State. Looking at South Alabama, they're awful on the road recently, and they got lucky last week. Central Michigan showed out against Oklahoma State. Scored a ton of points. So keep it going. I think I'll score them. It was CMU for me. I was
Right.
The CUM, you mean?
Them too.
They sent out their first year students with some bad stickers that they could put on their laptops for the CMU. What is it? CMU -1? You said
-5.
All right.
You could use some Adderall for the next one, Ken.
Yeah.
I've had some of the contrabanding in it.
All right, we'll get you out of here.
No wonder he was adamant about doing it earlier in the week.
Yes.
No.
Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the games, you guys. Me, AY, Houston State Capitol. Boost at the Commonwealth. I will be at FSU Michael's celebration.
Congratulations to him on his win
Congrats, FSU Michael.
and on his nuptials. He's already married though, right?
Yeah, a few months ago. Yeah, this is just
Well, it's time to celebrate it.
Mazel tov to him.
Better than the people that have this wedding right when they're not even married yet. You don't even know if it'll work out. At least you know this one's worked out for however long it's worked out for.
In the books.
So we'll be
Validate. Stamped.
It'll be a fun day. Danburg, to my west.
Good night, all.
And Can, my east.
Hail to Pitt.
Enjoy the last bits of summer, everybody. I smell fall already here.
Okay.
Well
Thank you,
said.
Justin. Take care and have a good one.
Got it.